and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be starting some post-rotation content, and I've already done a little bit on this channel. I've actually done a little bit. I've actually done quite a few videos on it, but today we're going to be doing some post-rotation content. Much like Zapdos CCG, I really like his deck profiles he's been doing, so I'm going to kind of do my own kind of thing like that, just going through the deck, explaining how it works. And today we're going to kick it off with Shadoww Calyrex VMAX, the deck that I think I'm going to play post-rotation the most, just because it is such a good deck. I'll get to that in a minute if you don't know what all these cards do. But yeah, we're starting it off. Shadoww Calyrex is a really good deck, probably one of the best in the format you can play. And yeah, so we're just going to get right into it. Shadoww Calyrex has been out for a while. I think maybe a month and a half, probably more though. So we're going to have 4 copies of Shadoww Calyrex. This has the great Underworld Door ability that lets you attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand when your Pokemon wants to return and then draw 2 cards. So not only can it accelerate some energy, but it can also draw you more and more cards, which is great. It's not like something like the Dene or Crobat, and Dene is rotating out because it's post-rotation, that you can only use once when you play it down. This is every single turn you get attached an additional energy and get an additional 2 cards, which is great. You also have a pretty good attack here, Max Geist. For 3 colorless energy, you do 10 damage, but then you do 30 more damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So we're running 4 copies of it because we want to get as many of them as possible each game, because we can get more and more energy in play and draw more and more cards. So we're running the 4 copies of Shadoww Calyrex, which is great. Also, the nice thing about this deck is it hits weakness on stuff like Rapid Strike Shadodw, which is another really, really good deck in this format, because Rapid Strike can hit 2 things at once, which is amazing for tempo. But this can just hit weakness on it and take it out, usually in 1 hit in most cases. Rapid Strike just gets so much better at post-rotation because it's not limited by you anymore. And Eternatus is a pretty good deck, with Shadow Rider also being a very good deck, which is, Shadow Rider is the deck we're here talking about today. So we have 4 copies of the Shadoww Calyrex VMAX, and obviously we'll be playing 4 copies of the Shadoww Calyrex V. This V is also not too bad in its own right, because it can block your opponent from playing Stadiums with Special Energy, which can be nice against the aforementioned Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. Just being able to keep them from playing the Rapid Strike energies. Then, you can use this turn 1 going second against Rapid Strike. And if they didn't attach a Rapid Strike energy for turn on their last turn, then you can just keep them from using VMAX Rapid Flow for a turn. You can set them up for maybe some easier knockouts as well. So 4 copies of Shadoww Calyrex V, but also we have Astral Barrage here that lets you put 5 damage counters onto your opponent's Pokemon. That can be nice against something like the Decidueye, where your just straight damage won't be able to hit them. So damage counters will be able to hit them. So you're playing the 4 copies of that, and also we need it just so we can evolve into the Shadoww Calyrex VMAX. And we also have a 2/2 Alcremie VMAX line. This Alcremie VMAX is great. We're not playing, a 3/3 because we're not actually attacking with it all the time. Alcremie VMAX just have the great dormant attack that lets you reach your bench Pokemon, search your deck for Psychic Energy and attach it to this Pokemon. It can be nice powering up at both Max Geist on Shadoww Calyrex VMAX, but also Gmax Wisp on Alcremie VMAX that lets you, for 2 Psychic Energy, you discard any amount of energy from your Pokemon in play, and it does 60 damage for each one, so a really, really big multiplier. And with our Shadoww Calyrex VMAX out, we can get, anywhere from 2 to 3 to even 4 of these guys out in 1 game. Then we can really get a whole lot of energy in play 1 turn and hit very, very hard every turn with Alcremie. Usually you're going to be taking, a 2 KO on a VMAX with Shadow Rider, and then a 1 KO on a VMAX with Alcremie. It's usually how our game plan is going to be looking. We also have one of Pokemon. We're playing 1 copy of Crobat V, because, there's a great draw. I actually had 2 in the deck. I've seen lists that just play the 4/4 Shadow Rider, the 2/2 Alcremie, and then 2 Crobats. But we are going ahead and just playing the 1 Crobat because we are playing other things as well. One of the things is going to be the Galarian Zapdos, which has the Fighting Instinct ability that lets its attacks be used for one colorless less for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. I mentioned earlier how Eternatus is going to be very, very good because of Shadow Rider also being very, very good. Well, Galarian Zapdos here actually counters Eternatus almost perfectly. Because the Fighting Instinct does, it can be used for one colorless less for each of your opponent's Pokemon V in play. Well, Eternatus is going to get a whole bunch of Pokemon V in play. You know, they play 4 Crobat V, 2 Galarian Moltres, maybe a Sableye V, and then a 4/4 Eternatus VMAX. So it's going to be very, very easy to just attack for just 1 energy of Thunderous Kick, which for fighting colorless, you 170 damage, which conveniently doubled with weakness is 340. And before doing damage, you can discard special energy. So it can also be used against Rapid Strike as well to get rid of their special energies, to prevent them from using VMAX Rapid Flow. But mainly it's here for Eternatus, because Eternatus it's almost hopeless without it. You have to play very, very differently against Eternatus. You know, you have to make sure that you don't evolve your Shadow Rider Calyrex until you absolutely need to. You need to make sure that you only attack with your Alcremie, because if you attack with your Shadow Rider, that's basically giving your opponent free 3 prize cards. Basically, you're just aiming to take 3 prize cards with 1 Alcremie and 3 prize cards with either a second Alcremie or a Galarian Zapdos. So Galarian Zapdos, perfect counter to Eternatus. We have 1 more card here. We have 1 copy of actually, no, we have 2 more cards. We have 1 copy of Galarian Articuno V. Actually, not V, just a regular Galarian Articuno that has the gold shard, but I believe is actually purely spellings are revealed today. And I believe it's actually translated to Cruel Charge. Let's see. When you mention it, you get to attach 2 psychic energies from your hand to it. So you can get more psychic energy into play for your Alcremie VMAX, as well as more psychic energy into play in your Shadow Rider. So, you know, if you're just 30 damage off of that 1 KO, don't worry, because you can just grab out this Articuno with something like a Fog Crystal, and there you go. You immediately got the energies that you need into play. And finally, we have 1 copy of Pumpkaboo, which has the Pumpkin Hole ability that when you put on your bench, you get to discard a Stadium card in place. This is one of our counters to Path of the Peak, which does almost destroy us, because it means we can't use our Underworld Doors, and Underworld Doors need the life and the heart and soul of this deck, because if we can't Underworld Door, we can't get energy in play, we can't draw our cards. So Pumpkaboo can help counter that Path of the Peak, and is also searchable with Fog Crystal and Quick Ball. Going into our supporters, 4 copies of Professor's Research. Shouldn't need to talk about this one too much, because Research is great. As well as 4 copies of Marnie. So there's consistency all the way in terms of our supporter cards. We really want to be able to always be able to draw our cards, and you know, with 4 Research, 4 Shadow Rider, and a Crobat, really able to draw a lot of cards in one turn. As well as 4 Marnie can Marnie our opponent maybe into a dead hand. So, you know, Marnie is a win condition that makes it such a good card. And then finally, we'll be playing a 3 boss in the deck as well. You know, pretty standard supporter count. Is probably the supporter count that's going to be played most in Sword Shield On. Is just, you know, 4 Research, 4 Marnie, 3 boss, or, you know, 4 Research, 3 Marnie, 3 boss, or something to that extent. Will be played lots. So 3 copies of Boss's Orders. In terms of our stadiums, we have 2 copies of Training Court, which can be used to get back our energy. You know, VMAX Whisk, we have to use it early in the game. Then we both have 1 copy of Energy Recycle later down on the list. But also 2 copies of Training Court for getting back those energies, and sometimes, you know, we just have to discard a couple of energies along the way while we set up our Pokemon, and the Training Courts can get it back. There's also a great counter to Path of the Peak. And speaking of Path of the Peak, we play one ourselves. Now you might be thinking, are we playing a Path of the Peak ourselves? That seems really, really weird. Path of the Peak is great in a lot of situations. The combination with Marnie, it's awesome. You can buy a couple turns by locking in the active with Shadow Mist, which is something I did versus Eternatus. I was testing this deck against Eternatus, and I locked a Path of the Peak in play with Shadow Mist for a couple turns while I reestablish my board and get ready for the final KO I needed to win the game. But Path of the Peak is just a super destructive card. Not only combination of Marnie, but, you know, late game Marnie plus Path of the Peak is really, really great. But, you know, we also have stadium counters ourselves via Pumpkaboo and our own Training Courts. So, you know, sometimes we can use our Underworld Doors for the turn, and then go ahead and put Path of the Peak in play, block our opponent from using the rule boxes. Then once again, it's our turn. We can either put in a counter stadium to counter our own Path of the Peak, or, you know, play our Pumpkaboo or something like that. So 1 copy of Path of the Peak, surprisingly, very, very good. So next, obviously, running for Quick Ball. We're running a pretty consistent search engine. We're running for Quick Ball, and then for Fog Crystal. Fog Crystal is also great for grabbing out Pokemon and things like that, and then for Evolution Instance. So, super consistent. We're playing 4 of all our search outs. Evolution Instance is we're running 4 of them because Evolution Instance in most cases it draws us cards because it draws us cards and gets our energy into play. Evolution Instance is a very, very powerful card in the deck. Because you can get our Shadowd Calyrex, and then also get some more energy into play and draw some cards. In terms of our tools here, we have 3 copies of Air Balloon and 1 copy of Switch, so switching as well. There we go. And then, as I mentioned, we have 1 copy of Energy Recycler. So that's gonna be all of our training cards. Energy Recycler is really, really nice. We just need to the last 1 or 2 energy and play at the end of the game to get it back from Mega Scarp, Energy Recycler, and Training Port. So that's gonna be really, really nice. And then in terms of our energy, we are running 11 Psychic Energy. There we go, 11 Psychic Energy, and then just 2 copies of Aurora Energy. It's going to be the list. I think this deck is probably one of the best decks in the format come rotation. Also going to be deck profiling Ice Rider, Urshifu, probably T at some point at Tyranids. So I have a lot of content planned for the post-rotation format. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. And I just forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video. Thank you guys so much for 50 subscribers. Yes, 50 subscribers a couple days ago. I just didn't feel like making a video for it. I've been kind of taking a break, and I haven't been feeling like making videos for the last couple days. But here we are. I decided to make a video because I've been playing this deck a lot, and it is very, very good. I'm really, really enjoying it as well. Thank you for 50 subscribers. See you guys in the next video, and bye.